Hello and welcome to Galaxy News. My name is Nenwarang Yumazaka. I will begin with the headlines. The federal government inaugurates chairmen and of the governing councils of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU Unilag Council, stages a protest rally. On the foreign scene, the president of China and Russia urge allies to resist external influence, saying the global centers of power are changing and a multi-polar world is on the horizon. Details of these and more will come to you shortly. Please stay with us. And now the news in full. In its commitment towards revamping tertiary education in Nigeria, the federal government has inaugurated chairmen and members of governing councils of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. Recall that the inauguration of the council was delayed due to public outcry of lopsided appointment from some quarters. Correspondent Kulujo reports that the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, disclosed that the exercise was long overdue, adding that the present administration under President Bola Tinubu has undivided attention to education at all levels. He said governing council institutions were dissolved in June 2023, while this has hampered the performance of various tertiary institutions. The minister said the federal government is aware of the critical roles of governing councils in the day-to-day running of the institution, adding that the appointment reflects the diversity of experience, professions and expertise. He urged them to justify their appointment and deploy their expertise to the growth and development of their respective institutions, noting that they are coming on board at a time when the education sector needs transparency and prudent management of resources. Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU Unilag Council, stages a protest rally within the school campus expressing the displeasure about the indifferent stance of the Nigeria government about their demands. According to ASU, some of the demands calling on Nigeria to be part of the agreement reached with the government in 2009. Galaxy News correspondent Lebby Joseph was there and files in this report.
Marching through the major road of the university campus, ASU members comprises of professors and doctors in the academic community of the University of Lagos were chanting solidarity songs condemning the unholy condition federal government have subjected them to. Among their demands is conclusion of signing of the renegotiated ASU federal government agreement based on the Professor Minnie Briggs Committee's report and funding of revitalization of public universities as partly captured in the 2023 federal government budget.
ASU doesn't want any strike. I repeat, ASU does not want any disruption in the university system. But ASU will not continue to sit down and languish in agony. ASU will not continue to tolerate deterioration in the university system.
Comrades, in spite of the 7.5 months strike, the refusal to pay our salaries during that period, up till I speak with you, none of the issues raised at that time have been resolved. It is very sad. It is very appalling. It is very inhuman that for 15 years the issues have remained the same, unresolved.
Students also came out in solidarity with the protesting lecturers with one voice that government should effect meaningful changes in the university education system for better results.
The government needs to do the needful. They are meant to implement policies that will bring about better educational system, increase the earnings of our lecturers, provide good educational system.
What members of FASU UNILAG chapter are saying right here is that the non-review of their salary in the last 15 years is unacceptable, and they are calling on members of the public to prevail on government to do something about all their agitations and demands so that the university system will not be disrupted. This is Levi Joseph from Lagos reporting for Galaxy Television News.
Members of the Academic Staff Union of University, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, have knocked the federal government over its unwillingness to commit and act to the demands of ASUU. At a special congress and protest within university premises, these members demand better welfare, improved university system and payment of outstanding allowances. Correspondent John Felix completes the story.
The day's activity began with a special congress among members of ASUU. With the speeches done, members of FUNAP ASUU walked around the premises of the university to press on their demands. Speaking to newsmen, Chairman FUNAP ASUU, Dr. Oluwagbenga Adeleye, expressed disappointment over federal government's refusal to address the demands, warning that ASUU members are being pushed back to the trenches.
We can no longer wait and live in penury. We can no longer keep quiet and behave as if everything is well. Any country that ignores the welfare of its academic staff, eggheads in ivory towers, that country will be hitting or aiming for the rocks.
Speaker after speaker also lamented government's inability to pay end academic allowances, outstanding salaries, among other agreements reached.
We want the public to know that we are not strike mongers. We are not happy going on strike. And that is why we are protesting, for everybody to know that government has not addressed our issue. And we want people to prevail on government, to sit with us, talk with us, let us find a way around all these issues that we have.
We have had negotiation with 3 federal government panels. The first one headed by Babalakin, the second one by Professor Muzari, the last one by Briggs. And at all these negotiations, you see that it's the federal government that will truncate the negotiation. The last one with Briggs, the thing was concluded, but for government to sign, they then refused to sign. Now that's why you discover that, unfortunately for us, for the past 15 years, we have been on the same salary. People may not believe it, but that is the honest truth. We've been on the same salary since 2009. I became a prof in 2008, and before I became a prof, I've already finished the scale. So by the time in 2009, so the same salary I'm earning in 2009 is the same thing I'm earning now. And you can imagine along the way what has been the exchange rate from 2009 till about the 1005 we're having, so that our salary cannot take us anywhere.
From Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, John Felix reporting for Galaxy Television News.
The Court of Appeal has dismissed the ex parte order by the Rivers State High Court in Port Harcourt, stopping Martins Amuile from parading himself as Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. The Appellate Court also dismissed the decision of the State High Court, stopping 24 other members of the Assembly from accessing the complex or carrying out any such legislative assignment in the name of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Correspondent John Kunle report that the court, in determining the issue of jurisdiction of a lower court to hear and also grant the ex parte order, held that the Federal High Court is exclusively and mandatorily the only court that can hear such matters and not a state high court, citing Section 273 of the Constitution. The three-man panel, led by Justice Jim Olukayode, therefore upheld to appeal filed by a factional speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martins Amuile, and 24 orders against the Speaker, Victor Okojumbo, and 2 others. A federal high court in Abuja has declared as invalid the People's Democratic Party's primary election that produced Asiu Ighodalo as a governorship candidate. The primary election conducted on February 22, 2024 was voided on the ground that 378 delegates who were supposed to vote at the primary election were unlawfully excluded by PDP. Correspondent Kulujo reports that Justice Iyange Ekwo invalidated the primary election on Thursday while delivering judgment in a suit instituted by the aggrieved delegate. The suit was marked by one Honorable Kelvin Mohammed in a representative capacity. Justice Ekwo held that both the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 and PDP guidelines were grossly violated in the conduct of the primary election at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin. Some of the councils spoke on the judgment of the court.
By saying that this is victory for the rule of law, it's a victory for internal democracy, and it is a lesson for political parties, particularly the PDP, to learn that if you violate your constitution, you violate the electoral guidelines you have made, you refuse to listen to the wishes and aspirations of your members, there's a consequence. And that is what has transpired today.
I must say straight away that no council must be allowed to mislead the nation and to mislead the audience. This honorable court did not make any order nullifying the primary and the election of Dr. Asiu Ighodalo as the PDP candidate who won that primary election by 577 votes.
Also, the former Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shuaibu, declared the judgment as triumph of the rule of law over impunity.
Like I said, after the primaries, if you recall, I did insisted that what happened in Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium was likened to a birthday party or a reception for a wedding at Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. It was not a primaries, because you cannot imagine the Ashwebi people.
You're still on to Galaxy News. We'll quickly take a break. And when we return, the news continues. Just stay with us. We're glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTVNews. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share a story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 018-666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live update and comment. The People's Democratic Party in Edo says the candidature of Dr. Asiu Ighodalo as the governorship candidate of the party in the September election is intact. This is coming as the Federal High Court in Abuja, preceded by Justice Ekwo, nullified the February 22nd primary, which produced Ighodalo. According to a statement by the Edo State PDP chairman, Dr. Tony Izigbemi, made available to newsmen, said the party is aware of some elements who are scared of the soaring popularity of Ighodalo. He stressed that Ighodalo remains the flag bearer of the party in Edo State, and the Federal High Court in Abuja did not in any way affect him. The party chairman called on supporters of the PDP in Edo State to remain calm, as there is no cause for alarm. The Ogun State Police Command said 2 suspected kidnappers who adopted travelers along the Shagamu Expressway have been neutralized while others escaped with gunshot injuries. The State Commissioner of Police Abiodun Alamutu made the disclosure in Abeokuta, the state capital, while briefing journalists on the situation report on the incident of the police headquarters in the state capital. He said 5 AK-47 arms and ammunition were recovered from them, just as he urged members of the general public to give information about the fleeing suspect. It will be recalled that 4 victims, which include 3 Indian nationals and a Nigerian, regained their freedom early this morning along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
Against the audacious kidnappers that laid siege on the command. On the 30th of June 2024, the divisional police officer in Ikene received a distress call reporting a kidnap incident at about 19:10 hours near the Labo Junction on the Shagamu-Ijebu-Ode Expressway.
Operatives of the Oyo State Police Command fired tear gas canisters to disperse protesting workers of Sumal Food Company today in Ibadan. It will be recalled that the workers had on Monday staged a protest to demand for palliatives and other demands from the management of Sumal when it turned violent and a staff named Olabode was allegedly killed in the process. Normalcy was later restored and leaders of the protesting workers were called into the factory for a meeting with the management to resolve the situation. Some of the workers who spoke to newsmen narrated their narrowing working experience at the company and called on government to come to their rescue. Effort to speak with the management was not successful as they were still at the meeting by the time Galaxy News was leaving the area.
Tax! Why they not give us this money? Okay, we are not saying give us something. We don't fight with them. You are not telling us that you don't have anything to give us. That's what we are saying. They just go call police to come and shoot us. Shooting on They killed 2 people. Some are in their custody now. Why?
Give them money for 6 months. So tell us that rumor. They tell us that rumor. Okay, for 6 months, this rumor carry that one again. We still even hear say normal say they pay the money. They have no give us. They still say that rumor. See the roller's name on top again. We want our money.
Meanwhile, the family of Olabode Olaniyan, who was allegedly killed, is demanding for justice and whereabouts of his corpse. The father of the deceased called on the government to bring those responsible for the untimely death of his son to justice.
Brother and sister, don't come meet me from my house. Say they don't kill my son for Oluyole. I say for that company with the work. Say that they protect. Say then shoot and gun and die. Since that day, now they come for Lagos State. Nigeria making help me because now I think God beg make Nigeria help me.
This is the 4th day now when this incident happened. I've not seen my brother corpse. Yesterday when we went to Yagonku, that is around 4 o'clock. That is when they see the evidence. That is when all these police are now running scatter that someone is dead though. True, someone is dead. What they are telling us was that nobody is dead.
A day after flood ravaged some areas in Koshofe local government area of Lagos State, residents narrate their experience and seek for government help. Galaxy's Iribami Salako completes the story.
Thursday's air had a crisp and fresh scent, bearing witness to the thorough cleansing that lasted up to 15 hours on Wednesday. However, residents of Olokbumeji, Iyanoworo, Ojileru, Bega could care less for the refreshed atmosphere as they had to deal with the aftermath of the flood.
May we never see such heavy rainfall again. I come from Alakwere to Iburu. It was so heavy, all the canal was filled up. I learned a child died in the flood.
After the rain started 3 a.m. and we wake up in the morning, see that everywhere was flooded. and we discovered that going out was hard for everybody, but people didn't go to work, and even me, myself, I was at home. And it damaged some people's properties, and even their car break down inside the water as well.
Water entered all the houses at Ojileru. Up to this moment, residents are still clearing water from their homes from Bega to my place.
Taxi drivers also lament the gridlock caused by the rain and unwanted baptism their cars took. They called on government to perpetually clear the drainage and punish those who pour refuse in the drainage.
The cars that broke down here were up to 50. If these drainages are cleared regularly, perhaps the flooding would not have happened. We shouldn't wait for flood before we clear up drainages.
There is one pit hole there now, very big pit hole. Lagos State should come and look after that place. They need to look after that place like every 6 months, regular. I know that Lagos State government, they're always trying about Lagos State. So the problem is there that they should try their little best again.
I know if you go anywhere to yesterday because flooded is too much for Yanoworo here. All of these robbers collect 5,000, 6,000 for 1 month before come out for that river, for that rain.
Apart from the apparent damage, one worries about the health consequences of stagnant water and effect on the environment.
This is the local Meiji where the flood ravaged residents started living here yesterday. They have a lot to say and they are counting their losses. However, they call on the state government to do something about the yearly flooding that takes place at this place and punish people who throw refuse into the drainage system. Ireba Misalako, Galaxy TV News, Lagos.
And now move over to the foreign desk for more news. Hello and welcome to the foreign news. The president of China and Russia urged allies to resist external influence, saying the global centers of power are changing and a multipolar world is on the horizon. Russian President Vladimir Putin and his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping were in Kazakhstan capital of Astana on Thursday for a gathering of leaders from the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, a regional bloc that Moscow and Beijing see as a counterweight to U.S. hegemony on the world stage. Xi called on the countries to resist external interference, while Putin said new centers of political and economic might are on the rise. In a joint declaration published by the Kremlin, the group noted tectonic shift in global politics and called for the bloc to play an enhanced role in global and regional security. The statement did not refer to Russia's invasion of Ukraine or China's dispute with Taiwan, but said the group had mutual respect for sovereignty, independence and territorial integrity of state. Both Russia and China regularly rail against what they say is the U.S. dominance of global affairs and are seeking to boost the influence and control, particularly in regions close to their borders. And that's all we have on Galaxy News. Thank you so much for being a part of the news. My name is Nenwai Gimasaka. Do join us by 9 p.m. for more news. Goodbye.